Myst, Might, Mayhem. By Han Jung-Wheolya. Chapter 485. The Supreme Sword. Part 1. Joke. As the dark cloud split and a dazzling light illuminated the earth, everyone's gaze turned towards it in an instant. It was as if the heavenly emperor himself was descending. A being with curly golden hair, flapping magnificent and brilliantly golden wings, slowly descended from the sky. Ah! Exclamations flowed from the mouths of those watching this being. Just looking at it, the golden-haired being was incredibly beautiful, sacred, and overflowing with majesty. Even more shocking was not just this appearance. Martial artists with even slightly sensitive energy perception were unable to hide their shock. What kind of energy is this? When the 6 demons appeared, it was despair itself due to the demonic energy encompassing everything. But the energy of this sacred-looking being truly covered the sky. It was hard to believe, but it really looked like a divine being. Quack-quack-quack-quack-quang. Its presence was so intense that even the 100-faced King Golden Nine-Tailed Fox, who was engaged in a fierce battle with the great strength King Ox Demon King, glanced sideways for a moment. What on earth is that? The Golden Nine-Tailed Fox's eyes sharpened. She hadn't been nervous at all while fighting the great strength King, who was called the strongest among the 6 demons and known to be unrivaled in strength. But when that being appeared, her heart beat strongly. How could such a thing appear in the world? Elder. That is. It wasn't just the Golden Nine-Tailed Fox who felt this. Jin Yiren, who was fighting against the lion-grasping king, couldn't help but have her attention divided by the strange energy encompassing everything, tightening around her heart. It was the same for Sima Chuck, the Moon Evil Sword. Dangerous. Sima Chuck was more experienced than anyone else here. He had gone through the human-demon war of the Dragon Demon King that threatened the safety of the Central Plains martial arts world hundreds of years ago, and even the great calamity that divided the old Murim and the current martial arts world. Yet even he couldn't help but be extremely tense when that being appeared. Shuuu. Yumu Jin. I know. I'm watching too. Yumu Jin, leading the Yu clan, also couldn't easily take his eyes off that being that appeared between the split dark clouds. Kugugugugugu. Since that being appeared, all the energies in the area were unable to circulate properly, and even the energies were gathering and swirling around those golden wings. Unlike the incredibly sacred spectacle, the concentration of energy that seemed like it could blow away the entire 10,000 Great Mountains area at any moment was ominously unparalleled. The spark of hope they had just kindled was becoming precarious again. Quack. So you finally show yourself. Golden Heavenly King. Mok Gon bit his lower lip hard. He might be the only one who knew that being accurately. The Heavenly Clan opposing the Demon Clan. And that being emitting such an overwhelming pressure is the leader of the Heavenly Clan, called the Golden Heavenly King. Why now of all times? He thought it would never show itself until his given role was fulfilled. It considers humans as insignificant as insects. Yet for this arrogant being, who considers itself the master of all creation, to show itself like this, is it because of him after all? Mok Gon's 3 eyes turned towards Mok Jiangan. His incarnation's gaze was also directed towards the Golden Heavenly King. He doesn't look at himself. At this sight, the words the Golden Heavenly King had said echoed repeatedly in Mok Gon's mind. Your role ends here. Kaduk. Kaduk. The blood vessels in the third eye on Mok Gon's forehead intertwined and swelled up. Indeed, to it, he was just a chess piece. That's how he was born in the first place. The Eye of the Heavenly King. That was the entire reason for his existence. To exist for it and to observe everything on its behalf. Therefore, he should have accepted that his role was over, but, Uxin. At that moment, a voice echoed in Mok Gon's mind. In the end, we weren't the main characters. Periurururu. The light in the eye on Mok Gon's forehead wavered with the suppressed will. The eye feeds on madness and desire. I. Mok Gan, who had absorbed the madness and desires of thousands, tens of thousands of people for his given role, gradually developed his own will and sense of self. And that vast desire aroused in him a longing to break free from his predetermined role. The desire to become the subject, no longer a puppet. This didn't take long. He found the desire and madness that could cut the puppet strings. That was by Yonghyun. True madness beyond the role allowed Mok Gan to break free from the shackles of the role he had so longed for. Siak. The corners of Mok Gan's mouth split into an eerie grin that reached his ears. That's right, partner. We can't be dragged around by something called a role forever. We should be the main characters of everything. Suk. Mok Gan raised the red jade staff. At that moment, the red jade began to emit a red light and started resonating. Yuang. Meanwhile, the golden heavenly king slowly descending from the sky looked at the 100-faced king golden nine-tailed fox and the great strength king ox demon king, who were engaged in a fierce battle that was changing the surrounding landscape. Quack 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 quang. After observing them closely, the corners of the golden heavenly king's mouth twitched. Useful. With those words, the golden heavenly king stretched out its hand, pointing at the golden nine-tailed fox. At that moment, Yuang. Bright light concentrated around where the golden heavenly king's hand was pointing, and in an instant, it became a pure white beam. Chwack. The beam was truly a stream of light itself. In the blink of an eye, the beam extended and pierced through the golden nine-tailed fox's back. Kwajik. Kiak. The huge body of the golden nine-tailed fox, hit in the back by the beam, staggered forward. Being so enormous, even its staggering shook the ground. Kukukukung. Hirururura. Quack. At that precise moment, the great strength king ox demon king didn't miss the chance and roughly grabbed the golden nine-tailed fox's neck with both hands, slamming it down towards the ground. Kwaong. That wasn't the end. The great strength king ox demon king opened its mouth and breathed lava-like flames towards the golden nine-tailed fox slammed to the ground. Quack 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 quacka. As the dark red lava fell on the golden nine-tailed fox's face, Chi Thiak. Huarurururek. Smoke rose with the flames. The golden nine-tailed fox tried to twist its body as if in pain, but the great strength king's strength was by far the best among the 6 demons, so instead, its pressed body dug into the ground. Quadadudiadudiak. The earth shook and the ground split as the golden nine-tailed fox's body sank deeper into the ground. As if trying to finish it off, the great strength king's hands also turned into lava and started burning the golden nine-tailed fox's neck that it was gripping. Then, Pakwakwakwakwakwa. The golden nine-tailed fox's 9 tails, which had dug into the ground, broke through the floor and wrapped around the great strength king's arms and torso. In that state, extreme cold arose from the golden nine-tailed fox's tails. Geogeogeogeogeogeek. She was trying to push back the great strength king with an opposing force. However, the great strength king, seemingly prepared for some sacrifice, didn't let go of its lava-transformed hands even as its shoulders and body were freezing. As a result, heat and cold collided, turning the surroundings into a haze of yellow steam. Pushashashashak. Seeing huge thorns shooting up from within, it seemed the golden nine-tailed fox was trying to push away the great strength king somehow, but it didn't look easy. Damn ox. How can you have this much strength after being sealed for so long? The golden nine-tailed fox's golden eyes gradually lost their light. Although she was preventing her face from melting in the heat with demonic energy, her breath was being choked off by the physical force on her neck, causing her to gradually lose consciousness. If there hadn't been any interference in the middle, this wouldn't have happened. It was absurd. What on earth was that being? It had too easily pierced through her fur imbued with demonic energy, which even the great strength king couldn't properly penetrate with its power. Suzuzu. It's hard to endure any longer. If she loses consciousness like this, her head will be torn off and melted by the great strength king. Dying wasn't so frightening. It's just that the prophecy hadn't been properly fulfilled, and yet like this. pew pew puck. It was at that very moment. 3 enormous, utterly transparent formless swords pierced into the great strength king's torso where her tails were binding it. Normally it would have been difficult to penetrate, but it seems it was possible because those areas had frozen. At that instant, the great strength king's lava-dyed grip loosened. Heavenly demon. This strength was undoubtedly him. The golden nine-tailed fox's closing eyes suddenly opened wide, emitting a golden light. Her remaining tails transformed into sharp spears and dug into the great strength king's torso where the formless swords had pierced. Pew 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 puck. Quio-io-io. The great strength king roared in pain and staggered backward. Not missing this moment, the golden nine-tailed fox raised her body and lunged at the great strength king, trying to bite its neck, but, my body. Her body wouldn't listen, having been continuously strangled along with the lava's heat. As she was about to miss this golden opportunity, Quio-io-io. The great strength king ox demon king was seen clutching its forehead and appearing to be in agony. While wondering why it was acting like that, a red light rose from the great strength king's forehead area and it was gradually splitting. Geo-geo-geo-geo-geo-geoic. Eventually, blood vessels intertwined in the splitting area, gradually forming a spherical shape. The golden heavenly king watching from the sky showed a change in its gaze. The sphere gradually intensified in form, and soon it became an eye. As the eye moved, the great strength king brought its hand to its forehead, trying to forcibly tear it off, but, quaduk. Quaduk. The great strength king's forehead area bulged out, and the hand it had brought there stopped moving completely. Then finally, the great strength king stopped its trembling vibrations and lowered its hand. The third eye emitting a red light filled with madness gradually began to fill with ecstasy. Then, kuahahahahaha. Instead of a roar, maniacal laughter burst from the great strength king's mouth. Success. A new will had entered the great strength king's mind. It was the third mock gone. After obtaining the forbidden technique to freely handle souls, he had devised all sorts of means and methods to transfer himself to this being weakened by long sealing. And it had finally come to fruition. He had never infiltrated an evil spirit, which could be called a concentration of energy beyond humans or beasts, but he had accomplished it. He had become one with the great strength king ox demon king, which could be called the strongest evil spirit. No longer a puppet. He had expected it to some extent, but it was enough to make him tremble. If this overflowing demonic energy and his own power became one, no one could be his match anymore. Even if it were the demon king or the golden heavenly king. Kuahahahahaha. Mock Gon, who had become one with the great strength king and was bursting into maniacal laughter, then sought out the incarnation. I'll show you the sight of this lord easily annihilating that being you've been searching for so long. And that this lord is no longer being bound to you. Humchit. At that moment, the eye on the great strength king's forehead trembled. What is this? The surrounding energy is stirring. He thought perhaps the golden heavenly king had judged him as a threatening existence and was about to act, but that wasn't it. The source of that energy was none other than the incarnation, Mok Jiangun. How is this guy's energy? Supreme power was surging from the guy he thought would be severely depleted of energy after raising the myriad sword river just moments ago. Goo. That power was so strong that it was enough to make the surrounding energy fluctuate. At that moment, Mok Jiangun opened his mouth. Now that everyone has shown themselves, I guess I can do it properly. Chapter 486. The Supreme Sword. Part 2. Now that everyone has shown themselves, I guess I can do it properly. Do it properly? What nonsense are you talking about? Suik. As Mok Jiangun traced the blade of the demonic sword evil commandment sword with his sword finger. Suriyurururiak. The blade turned completely black. Humchit. This is. Mok Gon, who had become one with the great strength king, felt a chill down his spine at the abyss-like darkness emanating from the sword. As if instinctively sensing something ominous, he opened his mouth and unleashed a roaring gale. Quioyoyoyo. Quack-quack-quack-quack-quack-wing. The wind pressure of demonic energy spewing from his mouth created a gale that rushed towards Mok Jiangan. While the warriors of the three major forces gathered behind him, including their leaders, were bewildered and at a loss of what to do in the face of the approaching gale. At that moment, Mok Jiangan swung his sword towards the gale. Chwack! A sharpness that cut through space. Eventually, a black line appeared in the air, and the gale split in half. The experts of the three major forces watching from behind lost their words and let out exclamations. Ah! What on earth was that sword just now? Every sword cultivator has an ideal sword they imagine. But Mok Jiangan's sword just now was literally close to perfection. This guy. The red light in the third eye of Mok Gan, who had become one with the great strength King Ox Demon King, flickered like a wavering candle flame. Although he had hastily unleashed a gale of demonic energy after sensing something ominous from him, to think there was a sword that could cut it in an instant. Hadn't even the enlarged formless sword struggled to block the gale? Then does this mean he really hadn't revealed his full power? For a moment, Mok Gan's mind became complicated. The fact that he didn't reveal this despite it not being a situation to spare any strength meant that your real aim wasn't to find this lord, but rather... Sook. Mok Gan's eyes turned towards the golden heavenly king floating in the sky. Mok Gan's eyes wavered even more as he looked at the heavenly king. That was because he could see that the corners of the golden heavenly king's mouth had turned upwards. This being, who rarely showed emotion due to looking down on all creation including the heavenly clan that followed him, had a face full of ecstasy. Does this mean that even after seeing this one sword strike, not even a hint of discomfort or wariness arose? His guess was accurate. The golden heavenly king didn't feel any wariness towards Mok Jiangan's sword. Rather, Uxin. It reminded him of the pain of the core. The only being that had ever left pain on himself, an absolute god to whom all creation should show reverence. He didn't believe that this being had lost all power and disappeared from the human realm. That's why he had spent time searching for him through the eye. And his judgment was correct. That bastard was indeed alive. Ha 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 ha. The golden heavenly king burst into laughter. His eyes were full of mockery as he laughed, even tilting his head back, though it was unclear what he found so amusing. Of course, he had thought he would be alive. But to think the reason he couldn't find him until now was because he had become a human. To think the only being who could match this king in power has become a trivial mortal, barely clinging to life. Where else could such amusement be found? Ha 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 ha. It seemed ridiculous that he had even worried about the slightest possibility. So much so that his attempt to eliminate future troubles by finding the being struggling to survive seemed futile. The laughter completely disappeared from the golden heavenly king's face after laughing for a while. With eyes that had become apathetic as if he had lost interest, the golden heavenly king raised his hand. At that moment, Yuuwang. The ornate golden bracelet on his right wrist floated up on its own, becoming a golden ring shape and growing larger. Watching this, Mok Jiangan hurriedly shouted in a loud voice. Close your eyes. An enormous shout like a lion's roar. However, the golden heavenly king smiled as if to say it was too late. Eventually, an intensely colorful light flowed out from the enlarged golden ring. It was so dazzling that anyone would have their gaze drawn to it. Then, Kuoyoyo. Kuuu. Keek 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 keek. The evil spirits exposed to the light let out wild roars as if bewitched by something. If they had simply roared, it wouldn't have been a problem, but suddenly the bodies of the evil spirits began to swell and transform into even more ferocious forms. Yuduk. Yududududuk. Kolriakoriak. It looked as if they were evolving. The evil spirits, growing much larger with thicker sharp claws and increasing ferocity, were becoming even more dangerous. This phenomenon wasn't limited to just the lower-ranked evil spirits. The lion-grasping king's mane, one of the 6 demons, sharpened like seeing a mountain of blades, and its muscles swelled, making its body even larger. Kwaong. Similarly, the white great ping demon king, another of the 6 demons, had its pure white wings turn dark red, transforming into an unsettling appearance, and its demonic energy surged rapidly. Cuckoo. Even those who had been matching the 6 demons with excellent coordination without prior practice were forced to create distance, bewildered by this sudden change. But it didn't end there. You duck. You do-do-do-duk. Kuyu. Kwa. Among the warriors of the 3 major forces who had formed battle lines, some began to scream as if possessed by evil spirits, their eyes turning bloodshot and undergoing bizarre transformations. What? Why are they suddenly acting like this? Hey! Come to your senses. The blood vessels all over their bodies turned black and swelled grotesquely, resembling Mok Yuchion's use of the evil blood technique. The difference was that beyond going berserk, they completely lost their reason and sanity. Their appearance was literally that of ferocious beasts. Kruaru. Keek. Puk. Kiok. Kwaduk. What is this? Hyuk. Let go. I said let go. Screams and shouts erupted from everywhere as the battle formation crumbled. This was because those who had lost their reason and turned ferocious suddenly attacked the normal warriors. The rampage of thousands of allies, not just 1 or 2, was enough to cause chaos. I see. Mok Jianyan let out a light sigh at their rampage. The Golden Heavenly King possessed 5 absolute divine artifacts called the Treasures of the Heavenly Clan. That golden ring on his arm was called the Ring of Arden, a dangerous item that corrupts the original energy that could be called the source of life, making it rampage to its limit and fight until death. Although it had the drawback of not being usable for over 100 years until its energy recharged once used, and the light had to be directly exposed to the naked eye, it was certainly the worst divine artifact that could cause chaos on the front lines once caught in it. Kuyu. Bright Blade King. Come to your senses. It wasn't just ordinary warriors who were exposed to the light. Even among the executives of each force and the leaders of sects, there were some who didn't close their eyes at Mok Jianyan's shout, and their rampage was beyond causing chaos. Kwajik. Chwak. Hyuk. See capture the clan leader. Leader song, please come to your senses. Please. Kiok. The stronger they were, the more powerful they became due to the rampage, causing numerous casualties. Bek Saha the Poison King and Huan Yasian the Shadow Clan Master, who were beside Bright Blade King Sun Yun, tried to restrain him somehow, but pang! His rampaging inner force was so strong that he shook them off too easily. Not content with that, Sun Yun's grotesquely transformed hand was about to tear off Poison King Bek Saha's thigh. Kwaduk. Yugiak. Even as his thigh was being torn off, Bek Saha counterattacked with lightning-fast poison palms, trying to subdue him, but peek. What? Buyuang. Despite being hit by the poison palm, Sun Yun didn't budge at all and instead swung his large sword, forcing Bek Saha to retreat. Stop. Seeing this wasn't working, even axe-destroying King Ho Tae-gang had to step in. He intervened, swinging his huge axe to block Bright Blade King Sun Yun's large sword. Kiaong. Originally, it was a strike that could have been easily blocked with half his inner force due to the difference in their realms, but instead, Ho Tae-gang's axe was sent flying. What kind of inner force? Just as Ho Tae-gang was hurriedly raising his inner force to respond. Pack. At that moment, someone struck the back of Bright Blade King Sun Yun's neck, and he, who seemed like he would continue rampaging without flinching, rolled his eyes back and fainted on the spot. The one who struck the back of his neck was none other than Mok Jianyan. My lord. Seeing this scene, axe-destroying King Ho Tae-gang inwardly clicked his tongue. He knew that his lord's strength had already reached a different realm, but it was astonishing that he could take down Sun Yun, who was unleashing inner force comparable to the transformation realm in his rampage, with just a single hand movement. But then the ring floating in the sky vibrated and emitted a strange resonating sound. Yuuwang. As soon as the resonating sound spread, the warriors of the three major forces who had been rampaging and attacking their nearby allies all rushed towards Mok Jiangun at once. It wasn't just the warriors. Do. Even the countless evil spirits rushed towards where Mok Jiangun was. While those facing the lion-grasping king and white great pink demon king blocked them, there was nothing they could do about the evil spirits. Keek. Die. Protect the Lord. Block them. The executives and warriors under Mok Jiangun tried to block the rampaging ones rushing in, but there were too many of them, and the momentum of those who had become ferocious in their rampage showed no signs of stopping even when attacked. It was useless to inflict wounds as they didn't seem to feel pain. Seeing them like this, the golden heavenly king sneered and said, "You became a mortal trying to be their savior, but in the end, you'll either die by their hands or kill them. They say you loved humans and became human? Then show the contradiction of eliminating those humans with your own hands. Enjoy watching that amusement." Humchit. It was at that very moment. Mok Jiangun raised his knee to his chest. Then, supreme power concentrated enough to make all the surrounding energy stir. Wondering what on earth he was trying to do. Kwaong. As Mok Jiangun stomped his foot towards the ground. Jiek. Hirururururiuru. Beyond just splitting where his foot touched, the ground within a radius of several hundred jang shook as if an earthquake had occurred. Along with this, the eyes of the warriors of the three major forces who were rushing towards Mok Jiangun in their rampage rolled back, foam formed at their mouths, and they collapsed clutching their chests. Tealseek. This can't be. No way. This is the heavenly demon domineering steps. Exclamations of surprise flowed from here and there. Everyone had heard the rumors. The domineering steps that was said to have collapsed the Shaolin Temple's 108 Arhat formation with a single stomp. In the martial arts world, they called it the heavenly demon domineering steps, and it had unfolded before their eyes. Moreover, over 10,000 rampaging individuals collapsed with a single stomp. Monster. Truly a monster. Hung Won-suk, the leader of the Beggars sect, even took a step back with an expression full of fear. They too had stepped forward to block the rampaging ones who seemed to be targeting him, but it was overwhelmingly strong enough to make all of that feel futile. It didn't end there. Pang! Mok Jiangun, who had taken down all of them in one go, leaped into the air and instantly flew up above the countless evil spirits rushing towards the 10,000 great mountains, towards himself. Myriad sword Red Lotus. Gugu. He raised the demonic sword Evil Commandment sword, blackened by demonic energy, above his head and then plunged it straight down into the center of the mass of evil spirits. Puk. At that very moment. Wachwa. From the point where Mok Jiangun stabbed his sword, black sword forces erupted from the ground like blooming red lotus buds, splitting into tens, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of branches, spreading in all directions like waves. Kiek. Kahak. The sword forces rising from the ground penetrated and tore through the evil spirits, and the various colors of blood they spilled were staining the surroundings in a rainbow of hues. Beyond a spectacle, at this unbelievable and tremendous display of power, the eyes of all the martial artists of the three major forces widened to the point of tearing, unable to close their mouths. Chapter 487. The Supreme Sword. Part 3. Myriad sword Red Lotus. Wachwa. The blackened sword forces erupted like blooming red lotus buds, splitting into tens, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of branches, spreading in all directions like waves. The sword forces rising from the ground penetrated and tore through the advancing evil spirits, and even those in a berserk state were helpless against them. The martial artists of the three major forces were astounded at the sight of the ground being stained with blood of various colors. Can such a sword truly be wielded by human hands? Monster. A true monster. How much stronger is he trying to become? Whether friend or foe, Mok Jiangun's strength had already transcended normal boundaries to the extent that everyone was trembling. Even the Golden Heavenly King's expression subtly changed. Just moments ago, his face had looked as if he was enjoying the amusement, as he had said, but there seemed to be a change in his mindset due to Mok Jiangun's power exceeding expectations. At this, the Golden Heavenly King raised his hand to control the golden ring. Yuang. At the resonating sound flowing from the ring, the muscles all over the Great Strength King's body, one of the 6 demons, swelled into a grotesque form. This was because it had been directly exposed to the ring's light. Crush him. The Golden Heavenly King issued an order to the Great Strength King through the ring's resonating sound. However, the Great Strength King, whose demonic energy was surging to its limit and about to go berserk, didn't move in that state. Or rather, it wasn't that it didn't intend to move, but it was resisting. This was because Mok Gan, the third eye embedded in the Great Strength King's forehead, was forcibly preventing the rampage. You dare refuse this king's command? One of the Golden Heavenly King's eyebrows raised. A mere created being dares to refuse his command? Do you not know what it means to defy your purpose and mission for which you were born? Do you think you can overcome this by resisting like that? Yuang. The golden ring emitted an even stronger light along with a resonating sound. He thought it would naturally submit to this, but, Yuduk. I will never move according to your will. Mok Gan, who had become one with the Great Strength King, was enduring this with extreme willpower. Seeing him like this, interest arose in the Golden Heavenly King's eyes. He was puzzled that a mere created being, no matter how much its will had strengthened over a long time, had developed a will strong enough to dare refuse his command. Has it acquired a transcendent desire to the point of forgetting even the fear of its creator? The Golden Heavenly King, who had been puzzled, soon turned his gaze. Since he couldn't make that one rampage further, he intended to move another of the 6 demons. But what is this? Even before going berserk, they had barely been maintaining a stalemate. So he thought the situation would quickly reverse if he awakened their power to the limit with the Ring of Arden, but they were enduring fiercely. Chuck. The diviners forming hand seals. As they formed the seals, spell formations appeared on the ground, and Yuang. Chains made of spiritual power formed, binding the wings and body of the white Great Ping Demon King, which was raining down sharpened feathers like a torrential downpour. Of course, even so, the white Great Ping Demon King was strong enough to wake. Kiak. Send the diviners maintaining the spiritual chains flying with just a light flap of its wings. Already nearly half of the diviners had lost their lives, their heads exploding or being pierced by feathers, unable to withstand the white Great Ping Demon King, but the remaining ones were desperately trying to bind it. This was the same for the diviner Yeo Surin. Just looking at her haggard face with blood flowing from her eyes, nose, mouth, and ears, one could tell how much she was pushing herself. But she didn't give up. The moment she collapsed here, the white Great Ping Demon King would break free from the 108-hole transformation formation of the 1,000 transformations golden will great divine tool and drive everyone to a terrible death. Cuckoo. Swa Aowa. The white Great Ping Demon King exhaled a mist-like cold energy, trying once again to freeze the 108 wheels. Having learned that sudden attacks would be returned to itself by the 1,000 transformations golden wheel connecting spaces, the white Great Ping Demon King changed its method. It was trying to slowly freeze the wheels themselves to prevent the spaces from connecting. Geogic. The wheels are freezing. If it breaks free from there, they would no longer be able to stop it. Thanks to the diviners binding its feet, they had been able to continuously attack to somehow inflict damage on it, but they couldn't land a proper critical hit. This was because every time they inflicted physical damage on it, It redirected that force like martial artists performing the pear blossom grafting technique. External attacks are meaningless. But that doesn't mean we should give up. Have you forgotten our ancestors' teaching that if it doesn't work, make it work somehow? It's not working, so how can we make it? Ah. Why? Did you think of a good idea? I did. If the outside doesn't work, maybe we should try from the inside. Wait. Yumujin, you don't mean? Is there anyone willing to die with me? You crazy bastard. The Yu clan members who read Yumujin's thoughts were momentarily dumbfounded. Does he really want to commit suicide? If it failed, they might just dissolve into the monster's nutrients. However, unable to think of a better method at the moment, 2 members of the Yu clan volunteered for Yumujin's absurd plan. Then let's go. Shuuu. The Yu clan members, circulating their blood so rapidly that dense steam emitted from their bodies, all flew up at once to attack different parts of the White Great Ping Demon King. As if proving that attacks no longer worked, the White Great Ping Demon King effortlessly withstood their attacks and continued to dye the surroundings with cold energy. Swaya. But then, 4 of the Yu clan members simultaneously rotated their bodies and attacked the White Great Ping Demon King's abdomen. Although it could redirect the impact, the force concentrated on its abdomen caused the White Great Ping Demon King to involuntarily open its mouth. That was the moment. Now. Pat. Shushashuk. Led by Yumujin, the 2 Yu clan members who had volunteered slipped into the White Great Ping Demon King's mouth. Surprised by the Yu clan members entering through its throat, the White Great Ping Demon King hurriedly stopped exhaling the cold mist to try and spit them out, attempting to expel cold energy from within. However, Kung. Kuuu. The White Great Ping Demon King twisted its body in agony as fist marks repeatedly appeared along its long neck. It feels pain. Now's our chance. Seeing this, the other Yu clan members who had been waiting for an opportunity also punched the White Great Ping Demon King with all their might. Pia-pia-pia-pia-pia-pia-pia-pia-pia-ok. Unable to redirect the impacts from the simultaneous punching from inside and outside, the White Great Ping Demon King's eyes rolled back and it let out a roar of pain. Kuyu-yo. The White Great Ping Demon King wasn't the only one fighting such pain. From the moment they entered its body, Yumujin and the Yu clan members endured the pain of their skin burning and freezing as they punched, fighting against the extreme cold rising from within and the stomach acid that burned their bodies. Pia-pia-pia-pia-pia-pia-pia-ok. Father. Yumujin gritted his teeth with desperate resolve, thinking of his father Yumujik. This was a fight to see who would die first. Perhaps this determination had an effect? Gradually, the White Great Ping Demon King's body began to swell, and small cracks started to appear on its skin. Huh? The Golden Heavenly King's gaze turned towards the lion-grasping king. It wasn't just the White Great Ping Demon King. The lion-grasping king was also engaged in a fierce battle with Jin Yurin, the Moon Evil Sword Sima Chuk, and the experts of the Evil Alliance, unable to charge freely due to being caught by the mysterious techniques of the 2 divine diviners, Grand Divination Master Mayan Riel and Angong Yun. Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-chak. Heavenly Horse Borrowing Power Technique, Art of Ladder Fire Embracing Analysis. Werururek. Kung. Pillars of flame cascading down in layers blocked the path of the rampaging lion-grasping king. Not missing this gap, Jin Yurin swung her sword wrapped in lightning she had pulled down. Pachichikichichichik. Thunder-splitting heavenly concealed divine path life-death sword technique lote-shaped sword. The sword force enveloped in lightning energy flew from the lightning-wrapped sword like a whip, wrapping around the lion-grasping king's right front paw. Pachikichikichichichi. Kwaong. As the lightning and sword energy wrapped around simultaneously, the lion-grasping king let out a roar of pain. At this moment, the Moon Evil Sword Sima Chuk, as if he had been waiting for this, flew his body high and swung a large sword finger above the lion-grasping king's back. Yuang. Chwaak. A huge formless sword appeared, tracing a circular trajectory like a full moon as it tried to cut the lion-grasping king's back. But at that moment, all the hair on the lion-grasping king's body stood on end as if angered by demonic energy, blocking the formless sword swung by the moon evil sword. To think it could endure this. He had thought that even if it was a bit difficult, it could be sufficiently subdued with a joint attack with Jin Yurin before its demonic energy surged from going berserk. But now, that might be difficult. If its demonic energy hardness could block even a formless sword, which was called the extreme of swordsmanship and considered the most powerful, it meant there was no way to penetrate and cut its body. At that moment, the lion-grasping king suddenly curled its body, condensing, rising demonic energy. Something feels ominous. Feeling wary, Simachuk tried to shout. Everyone, dodge. It was at that very moment. The hairs that had been raised to block the formless sword stretched out in all directions, becoming thousands, tens of thousands of arrows. Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-chang. Simachuk, the moon evil sword, who was closest, somehow managed to block them, but the evil alliance warriors couldn't do so at all. They tried their best to block them, but pu-pu-pu-pu-puk. Kyo-kyo-kyo-kyak. Huik. Unable to withstand the lion-grasping king's hairs imbued with demonic energy, their bodies were penetrated and they lost their lives. Pushachakakkkkkkkang. Jin Yurin unleashed the true chasing and turning sword, creating a whirlwind of sword energy to block them, and the leaders and top experts of the evil alliance struggled with all their might to block them, but there were too many hairs flying at them. Even they had to stay in place, unable to move, just to block the hairs. Therefore, sacrifices were inevitable. Pu-pu-pu-pu-pu-puk. Screams constantly erupted as the ground where they stood was dyed with blood. Quack. Jin Yurin bit her lip hard. At this rate, we'll all be done for. The lion-grasping king's hairs imbued with demonic energy that kept pouring down endlessly weren't a problem that could be solved by just continuously blocking. If no one stepped up, the lion-grasping king wouldn't stop attacking until everyone was dead. With this, Jin Yurin, resolved to sacrifice her life, flew her body. Pat. Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-chang. Simachuk, the moon evil sword, who was blocking the hairs spewing out from the lion-grasping king, shouted with surprised eyes. Don't. It was a suicidal act. He understood wanting to block the attack to prevent sacrifices, but if she recklessly tried to break through now. Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-chang. Pupuk. Hup. As expected, hairs pierced Jin Yurin's shoulder and thigh. Even for someone like her, it was too much to block all those hairs, each with power like a sword force, while fighting against the tremendous demonic energy with each step. Why are you inviting sacrifice? Sacrifice is not the role of the young. Pat. Simachuk hurriedly flew his body to save her. Cha-cha-cha-cha-ka-chang. Using formless swords as shields, he tried to break through the flying hairs to somehow reach Jin Yurin. However, she had already reached close to the lion-grasping king, covered in wounds to the point where it was hard to find an uninjured spot. Ha! Ha! Pacha-cha-cha-cha-chick. Raising her sword wrapped in lightning, she tried to unleash the most tyrannical and destructive ultimate technique of the thunder-splitting heavenly concealed. Her vision was very blurry. She was dizzy from losing too much blood, but she was betting everything on this one strike. Just as Jin Yurin was about to unleash the ultimate technique of the thunder-splitting heavenly concealed towards the head of the curled-up lion-grasping king. Kwaong. Pat. At that moment, the curled-up lion-grasping king raised its head like lightning and swung its front paw towards her. It was so fast that there was no time to dodge. Ah! Pack! At that very moment, someone pushed her to the side. A blurry form flickered in her eyes, and she saw it smiling bitterly at her. Chwack! And that blurry something was torn apart by the lion-grasping king's front paw. Amidst the scattering remains, a voice echoed. I'm sorry I couldn't protect you. As the echoing voice faded away, Jin Yurin's eyes reddened. She didn't know why, but her heart ached. However, she couldn't shed tears. Because the lion-grasping king's front paw that had torn apart the blurry something was flying towards her in succession. As she was pushed back, creating a gap, Jin Yuren unleashed a sword strike imbued with the thunder-splitting heavenly concealed. Thunder-splitting heavenly concealed diligent 1001 strong. Pachichikichichichik. The tyrannical sword force imbued with lightning collided with the lion-grasping king's front paw. The two tremendous forces created whirlwinds in all directions, unleashing an enormous aftermath. 2. Strong. Jin Yuren's palms holding the sword were torn, and both her arms shook violently. Her body had no uninjured spots due to the flying hairs, and she was dizzy from blood loss. Having recklessly unleashed the ultimate technique, her body couldn't withstand it. My eyes. Her vision gradually blurred. As her strength was about to completely fade, the lion-grasping king, seemingly aware of this, lunged forward with its mouth open to devour her. Jioyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyoyothe her the sword's jaws, she'll be crushed by its sharp teeth. I can't see. Pack. Puk. At that crucial moment, someone appeared in front of her, blocking the lion-grasping king from closing its mouth with a large formless sword. Elder? It was none other than Sima Chuk, the Moon Evil Sword. You endured well. With those words, Sima Chuk, while preventing the lion-grasping king from closing its mouth with the formless sword, created another formless sword with his other hand and tried to stab it into the lion-grasping king's mouth. Yuang. At that very moment, Kwaoa. An enormous roar erupted from the lion-grasping king's throat. It was literally a lion's roar. Ak. Cook. The roar imbued with the lion-grasping king's full demonic energy, sensing a threat to its life, instantly ruptured Sima Chuk and Jin Yuren's eardrums and sent shockwaves to their brains through their ear canals. As a result, their bodies were instantly paralyzed. Stopping at the moment when everything is decided in an instant leads to the worst outcome. Quadadudiak. The lion-grasping king, enduring the pain of the formless sword piercing its palate and jaw, forcibly tried to close its mouth. Sima Chuk's pupils shook frantically. Move. Move. He didn't mind dying, but he had to push this child out of the mouth somehow. Please, please, let at least his arms move. Despite his strong will, his body wouldn't listen. Just as he thought it was going to end so futilely, pew-pew-pew-pew-pew-pew-buck. At that moment, numerous swords enveloped in blue light flew in and pierced into the lion-grasping king's mouth. Kuyoyoyoyo. With a roar close to a shriek at the sudden invading swords, the lion-grasping king began to be pushed back. What? Wondering what on earth was happening, Sima Chuk's eyes caught glimpses of human-shaped forms made of blue light, wielding thousands of swords and rushing towards the lion-grasping king. It was a sight like a blue meteor shower flying by. Papapapapapapapak. Could this be? Sima Chuk's gaze turned to Jin Yuren. From Jin Yuren's blurry eyes, a light mixed with gold and blood red flowed out, and the secret text of the heavenly concealed in her bosom had somehow slipped out, burning brightly, with someone's form overlapping it. You. It was a familiar face he hadn't seen in a long time.